All right, welcome back to the Koinonia podcast. I'm here with Laura Richardson. She works at our corporate office here at Koinonia as the compliance manager. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. All right, so in this podcast, we talk a lot about the industry of foster care in California. Okay, and so today we're talking about ISFC. What does ISFC stand for?
ISFC is Intensive Services Foster Care.
Okay, so that's a new thing, right? That wasn't here before 2017.
Correct. It started in January of 2018.
2018. Okay, so why did that come out? Why did this new level of foster care show up?
So it was created to replace ITFC, and
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into it. It's a mental health kind of foster care thing they had for many years, but
yes.
I'll
So
let you look
this
that up.
is to serve children and youth that have a higher level of needs, whether that be medical, behavioral, therapeutic needs.
Okay. And so in the state of California, there used to be group homes, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of the answers to many of those group homes shutting down, right, because all group homes had to become a higher level mental health facility, and some of those group homes didn't make the cut. And so the state lost, how many group homes do you think got shut down in the last 5 years?
Probably hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of group homes. And it was already hard to find group homes. So the idea with group homes turning to what's called short-term residential treatment facilities was to minimize the stay. So kids are in these facilities a shorter time so that they could quickly step back down to a home-based setting, which would be a foster home, now called resource home, or maybe into a kin placement or family placement of some sort. And so less group homes, still plenty of troubled kids. ISFC is one of the answers.
Yes. So the goal of California is to ensure that children are in homes, in families. And studies show that children thrive and do best in a home-based setting. And so ISFC is that bridge between, as you described, the short-term therapeutic program and just a regular foster care placement.
Okay.
But the services and the care are all provided in a resource family home, in a foster home.
Okay. So what are some of the behaviors or situations? So what California does is they use a matrix. It's a scoring system. And every county is a little bit different how they utilize it. And they use this matrix, and if you score a certain way because of the needs of the child being higher than your average placement, there's actually 4 levels. There's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in foster care.
So there's basic,
okay,
and then level 2, 3, 4.
Gotcha.
And then ISFC is the highest level.
And this isn't about money, but there is a difference between the basic rate and level of care to the ISFC. The ISFC obviously being the highest level that you can get in a foster home, and it is because the child has more needs. It's not necessarily a behavioral issue, right?
Correct.
It's actually a conversation of how much work is it to parent this kid and how many appointments. And so can you think of an example of some ISFC kids?
So it could be a youth that has been commercially sexually exploited.
Okay.
It could be a youth stepping down from a short-term residential therapeutic program.
Okay.
It could also be a kiddo that has medical needs. So they have a lot of doctor's appointments. Maybe they have special medication regimens that they're on, that the resource parent needs specialized training in order to care for that child.
Well, even some like physical therapy appointments or extra medical appointments or extra educational, like significant extra amounts of educational appointments. I have a lot of foster parents that have been with Koinonia over the years. I've hired many of them later after many years of service. And we joke a lot around here like, oh, that placement that I had would have been ISFC, and oh, that placement, oh man. And because really foster parents were underpaid during the 80s and 90s and 2000s, and actually taking many harder kids in the foster care setting, where nowadays the state's recognizing, okay, this kid's more work. We're going to give you a little bit more money to offset that. Now, is it enough to retire from your job? No, foster care will never make you rich. So please, if money is your motivator, that's not what we're talking about here. And so what would you say for Koinonia, we're statewide, what would you say the need is for more ISFC homes? And then what is the training ballpark, conversation? And what's the overall training responsibility, extra responsibility there?
So there is a significant need for ISFC homes. And the ISFC program is not for everyone. So we are looking for individuals that are more experienced, maybe have prior foster care experience. Maybe they are teachers or nurses or individuals that already come to us with a bit more qualification. And then we can also train those parents as well. As you mentioned, the training requirements are much higher for our ISFC parents. They need to have 40 hours of training
instead of the normal 12. Yeah. Yeah.
And then on top of that, there is a requirement oftentimes for very specific training that is individualized for the particular client that they have or child that they have placed in their home. Yeah. We're looking for probably a stay-at-home parent for these kind of placements. They typically have more appointments, more services coming into the home. So definitely if ISFC is something that you're looking at, you're probably going to have more. Our social worker will be coming out more. If there's special health care needs, we also contract a nurse that will be regularly interacting with you. And so you have a bit more in and out happening. Maybe they have wraparound services coming in.
Yeah, so big need here in California. It's kind of a new thing. It's starting to take off. We have a handful of placements here at Koinonia that are ISFC. And what we found is they're not as scary as you think. And it's not just about behavior. It's about the needs of the child and how much work, so to speak, it is to parent that kid. Education being something, especially with COVID right now, where parents are having to work harder to educate the kid with distance learning. And the parents are all like, well, I think this is an ISFC client because the kid's here all the time, And that's not really the case. But in some cases, education expectations, what you do at home could be added to the scoring matrix to justify that rate. Keep in mind that most rates, once you get it, it's typically a year long. But if you get an initial rate where the kid comes in with the ISFC rate because it looks like a difficult situation, that can last sometimes only 60, 90 days, and then they'll cut it off if they say, hey, the placement's really not that hard. And so what do they call that? That's when they first come in. Static criteria, yeah. So a kid can qualify going in, but then lose it. But most kids, once they qualify for ISFC, it's about a year rate if they're still with you that long, and then they might re-examine after so many months.
And so that's really the goal in the situations where we are able to, is for the child to progress and improve, and for that rate to fall off and no longer be needed. Yeah, so the goal is to earn less money in foster care as you do better with the child. That's just how it works. And so we need you. If you're still watching, I want you to go on our website, www.kfh.org. I want you to go on there, check it out, learn about foster care, watch our other YouTube videos, subscribe, hit that button. Please like this video and learn more. And if you're thinking about doing this, please give us a call. We are in desperate need. More and more group homes are shutting down this year, 2021, and we need you. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, Laura, and have a good day.